Eat a delicious meal fit for a crime lord and cuddle up with your partner because yes, we have the last episode of Star Wars content until Obi-Wan releases in a few months. The Bobalorian, or Mandalorian Season 2.5, has been a wild ride, and in this video we'll be breaking down the episode, the post-credit scene, and some of the details you may have missed along the way. And you'll want to stick around till the end of the video as I'll be going over an important clue that I think tells us where Season 3 of The Mandalorian is headed. So hit that like and subscribe button because the back to tank my girlfriend wants for Life Day isn't gonna pay for itself.
Happy Life Day!
The final episode is called In the Name of Honor, which is pretty ironic since bounty hunters are considered some of the most dishonorable people in the galaxy.
Bounty hunters? We don't need that scum.
But that's all part of Boba Fett's journey, turning away from his past life of killer for hire and turning into an honorable ruler.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
But as Boba will learn throughout the season, ruling with respect on Tatooine is no easy task, as respect has traditionally been earned through force. If he's going to successfully overcome his enemies, he'll need to establish dominance. Although he's the de facto ruler, or daimyo as he calls it, of the Tatooine territories, he hasn't earned the respect of the planet's various ruling families, particularly the three Gotras who run Mos Espa. In the wake of Jabba and Bib Fortuna's death, the city has been running on a tenuous string of uneasy alliances, and Boba hopes to unite these families under his banner. After all, as Boba says,
Power hates a vacuum.
Standing in his way is the Pike Syndicate, who intend to continue their operation of the illicit spice trade.
Spice.
Sorry, wrong franchise. At the end of episode 6, the Pike boss orders the bombing of Garsa Fwip's cantina known as Garsa's Sanctuary. Garsa had been paying Boba, and this act becomes a declaration of war.
We are at war.
Joining Boba and partner Fennec Shan is the Mandalorian, who we've spent the last 2 episodes following. He's just come back from convincing Cobb Vanth, the sheriff of Freetown, formerly Mos Pelgo, to join them in their crusade against the Syndicate. What he doesn't know, however, is that Cobb was taken down by Cad Bane, considered one of the best and most experienced bounty hunters in the galaxy. He's been paid by the Pike Syndicate to ensure Boba and his team are wiped out. If you stayed and watched the post-credit scene, you'll know that Cobb is still alive, but we'll get into that in a bit. You might also be asking yourself, what was Boba doing these last 2 episodes? Probably learning how to ride that Rancor, something that was hinted at in episode 3.
It is said that the witches of Dathomir even rode them through the forest and fens.
Rather than fight the Syndicate at his palace, Boba chooses to stay and protect the people of Mos Espa, even if it means half the city getting totally destroyed. Cad Bane updates the Pike boss, who's been in cahoots with the mayor of Mos Espa, Mok Shaiz. It's here we learn that it was the Pike boss, not the Nikto Raiders, who wiped out the tribe of Tusken Raiders that helped Boba survive the unforgiving desert sands after his escape from the Sarlacc pit. Meanwhile, an X-Wing containing Grogu and R2-D2 lands at Pelimoto's hangar. I wonder if this is the same X-Wing we see lifted out of the ocean off the island of Ahch-To in The Rise of Skywalker. Peli notices Grogu wearing this Beskar chainmail. At the end of episode 6, Luke gave Grogu a choice: take the lightsaber and train with him to become a Jedi, or take the Beskar armor and go back to the Mandalorian. Because Jedi are not allowed to form these emotional attachments, Grogu can't take both. So it looks as though Grogu has made his choice. This armor was forged from a Beskar spear that Mando got from Ahsoka in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Because Mando has made a truce with the other families of Mos Espa who have agreed to remain neutral in his feud with the Syndicate, he believes he still has a chance in fighting the Syndicate off. He's ordered the Gamorreans, the Wookiee Chrysanthemum, and the Power Rangers to keep tabs on the various factions of Mos Espa in case of a surprise attack. What he doesn't know is that the families have already betrayed him and they'll eventually take up arms and join the Syndicate. Cad Bane and the Syndicate surround Boba, who offers them an ultimatum: let the spice flow and all this bloodshed can be avoided. And when Boba refuses, Cad tries a different approach. He tells Boba that he was the one who killed Cobb Vanth and that it was the Syndicate who massacred his Tusken friends. This is all an attempt to throw Boba into an emotional rage, hoping this will make him slip up. But Boba doesn't take the bait.
You're going soft in your old age.
And this gets at the core of how Boba has changed. He's gone from solo bounty hunter only caring about himself to understanding the value of family and friendship.
Living with the Tuskens has made you soft.
No. It's made me strong. Can only get so far without a tribe.
Ironically, it's Boba's softness that has made him strong. It has allowed him to forge friendships that ultimately help him win his battle over the Syndicate. With all three Gotras turned against them and the power of the Pike Syndicate at their doorstep, Boba gives the Mandalorian the opportunity to leave. But remember, this episode is all about honor, and the Mandalorian gave his word he would help them out, even if it means his death.
You sure you want to stay?
This is the way.
To buy them time, Boba has Major Domo negotiate their surrender, and I gotta say this guy is probably my favorite new character in the series. I really hope he comes back. He tells the Pikes that he hopes to one day visit the fabled cliffs of Obadiah, which is the Pike homeworld located at the end of the Kessel Run. But Major Domo doesn't know that this is all a ruse to buy Mando and Boba enough time to launch a surprise attack, and in one of the most badass parts of the episode, the two bounty hunters take on a shit ton of Pike soldiers using everything from the Mandalorian's whistling birds to Boba's knee rockets, which were first seen in action in season 2 of The Mandalorian. But the hunters are soon overrun, and when it looks like all is lost, the townsfolk from Freetown arrive to save the day. Originally, they wanted nothing to do with helping Mando, but the Pikes just shot their beloved sheriff and don't want the planet overtaken by these bad guys.
You didn't have to come here.
Yes, we did. The planet deserves better.
Joining them is the Wookiee Chrysanthemum, and it's kinda ironic Boba ends up saving him since the first time they met, it was Chrysanthemum who tried to kill him in the Bacta tank.
I owe you a nice long soak in the Bacta tank when this is done.
But things continue to get worse with the arrival of two Scorpenic droids. They have these almost impenetrable shields that even Mando's Darksaber can't penetrate. So while Boba goes off to get his Rancor, Peli arrives in a robo-rickshaw with Grogu, and it's the reunion we've all been waiting for. Mando's just happy Grogu got his shirt. Now, I'm not sure how Boba got here so fast with that Rancor, but the show goes full King Kong with Rancor versus droid insanity. The Rancor is able to ragdoll that droid and weaken the shield enough for Mando to get in there and bust it up, but that still isn't enough. The droid gets the upper hand, or should I say claw, and when it looks like Mando is done for, Grogu uses his force ability to remove one of its gears, buying the Rancor enough time to finish it off. On the other side of town, Fennec, the Mods, and Freetowners are pinned down by the second droid, and it's here we really get to see that the Pikes might actually have worse aim than stormtroopers. And it wouldn't be Star Wars without a traditional Wilhelm scream. While this is happening, we have a crazy showdown between Cad Bane and Boba Fett. Cad can't seem to wrap his head around why Boba would be helping these people out.
This is my city. These are my people. I will not abandon them.
But Cad doesn't buy it. After they fight, Cad pins Boba down and says,
You tried to go straight, but you've got your father's blood pumping through your veins. You're a killer.
Of course he's talking about his father, Jango Fett. Cad's final lesson to Boba is this:
Look out for yourself. Anything else is weakness.
So it's sweet justice when Cad is killed by Boba's gaffy stick, one which was given to him through the bonds of friendship. You might have also noticed this type of metal plate on Cad's head when his hat is removed. In this deleted scene from the Clone Wars, Boba and Cad engaged in a duel which saw both hunters being shot. This would explain both Cad's head plate and the dent in Boba's iconic helmet. It just makes this scene all the more powerful knowing the history these two have. With the second droid destroyed, the Rancor goes on a rampage imitating King Kong. The Mandalorian tries to stop him, almost getting eaten alive in the process. But it's Grogu that actually comes in and saves the day here, using the Force to lull the beast into sleep. We've seen Grogu use this ability in season 1 of The Mandalorian. It's here that Mando gives Grogu the metal ball from the Razor Crest. You know, that one he always used to play with. Now check out these Stormtrooper helmets on Pikes, a throwback to The Mandalorian. We're back in Mos Eisley where we learn the Syndicate has pulled back from Mos Espa. The families that turned on Boba are upset their deal with the Pikes didn't go the way it was planned. The mayor is also here, which is convenient for Fennec Shand, who puts her assassin skills to the test and takes them all out. Life seems to go back to normal, and for the first time it appears as though the people of Tatooine finally respect Boba, giving him a symbolic melon. I just love the added touch of the people picking up rocks and debris from the battle that completely decimated their city. It's uncertain whether Boba will spend the rest of his time ruling over Tatooine. He says he's not suited for this, but as Fennec reminds him, if they aren't going to run this place, then who? So it leaves room open for a season 2, but the way this show played out, I got the feeling this was more of a limited series acting as a bridge to The Mandalorian season 3, which is convenient because the show ends on Mando and Grogu on his new ship, and I just love how Grogu has his own little dome. Now you may be asking yourself, where is Mando off to? And I think episode 5 gives us a clue as to where season 3 of The Mandalorian is headed. When Mando defeats Paz Vizsla in a duel for the Darksaber, the armorer asks Mando if he's ever taken off his helmet, which he responds truthfully with a yes. This is against their creed, and the armorer announces,
"Then you are a Mandalorian no more."
Mando asks if there's any way he can atone, to which he says,
"According to creed, one may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore."
This is where I think he's headed, Mandalore, in order to regain his title of Mandalorian. Remember that he also has the Darksaber, and it is said,
Whoever wields it can lead all of Mandalore.
Mandalore was purged by the Emperor during the Night of 1,000 Tears, so just what state this planet is in isn't entirely known. There will, however, be someone after the Mandalorian's Darksaber, and that's Bo-Katan, who believes she has a rightful claim to lead Mandalore.
There is something I need if I am to rule Mandalore, something that was once mine. They know where it is, and soon so will I.
So definitely count on a confrontation between Mando and Bo-Katan. We also have a post-credit scene which shows us the fate of Cobb Vanth. Boba tells us that someone is using his Bacta tank, and I guess we now know who it is. Alongside him is the mod specialist Boba paid years ago to save Fennec Shan's life by turning her into a cyborg. He shows off one of his tools as if he's getting ready to work on Cobb. This likely means that Cobb will be indebted to Boba, and if Boba's story continues, this could have far-reaching implications. Cobb would also make for an honorable ruler in Boba's stead should he venture away from Tatooine. But I want to hear what you thought about the Book of Boba Fett and where you think this story is headed. Leave your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember,
I am Boba Fett.